All right, we're going to shift gears, as we often do on Mondays, from general civil matters to some misdemeanor criminal matters. At 10:30, we have this matter scheduled. People versus Tracy Ellen Wallers Penner. That's you.
Correct.
Here with your lawyer, Ms. Jordan Harden. Also present is Priscilla Walton, who prepared the pre-sentence report. And Abby Stoll is here from the prosecuting attorney's office. This is a charge of domestic violence or domestic assault. Defendant entered a plea in this matter by no contest on February 26th. The matter was set for sentencing today. The defendant called after the plea was entered and expressed concerns that she felt like she's not getting her side of the story told, felt her attorney wasn't helping her do that, and wasn't clear whether she wanted to go forward with her sentence. I took quite some time in taking this plea, but the law says that a defendant has the right to withdraw their plea prior to the sentence. And this court is supposed to construe that with great liberality, meaning the court is more likely to grant the motion than not. So we were quite taken aback when you did call, and we relayed that to Ms. Harden. Do you wish to withdraw your no contest plea, or do you wish me to go forward with the sentence here this morning?
I don't necessarily wish to withdraw it, but I would like to tell my side of the story.
Well, that's what today is for.
Okay. And
one of the problems is you can't plead no contest and then say, but I really didn't do it. When you plead no contest, you're sort of stuck with the factual basis. I can hear other related matters, but you can't plead guilty to drunk driving or plead no contest to drunk driving and then say, I wasn't driving, or plead no contest and say, well, I drank after I got in the accident. If you plead no contest, the conviction stands. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I asked for a pre-sentence report in this matter, and Priscilla Walton has prepared it. She's new to this probation officer position, but she'd been with the office for a number of years, and she did a good job on her pre-sentence report. Because I didn't know what to do with you. There's a great big purple elephant in the room, which is alcohol. You have a very substantial alcohol addiction problem. We worked on it when you were in sobriety court. We limped over the finish line, and somewhere between then and now you've relapsed, and alcohol was behind this. And the irony of it is this person who's the complainant in this case was the child in the car at the time of your drinking driving conviction a number of years ago. So I asked Priscilla to help us, and she's prepared the report. So with all that in mind, Ms. Harden, what would you like me to know? I'm not going down that path again. We struggled that whole probation. My current position, I believe she was trying to get over on us, that it wasn't all medical issues, that she was trying to dodge between the raindrops and was drinking while she was on that probation. But I'm not going to struggle with that every time she's deluded because it was anguishing. And so she may not be able to do a probation, but there were some underlying issues of that.
Well, and she's also got some current medical issues with her thyroid that are having a significant impact on her health as well. So her main concern with the probation is not complying with the terms of the probation, is the medical issues creating complications, which could result in sanctions for her. Again, she's indicated that she wishes to relay some additional information about the incident to the court, and her frustration that she wasn't able to do that prior to today. But as I am a court of advised her, today's her ability to do that.
And that is the day, as I said, this is the time at sentencing for you to tell me what you want me to know. I've had dozens of conversations with you over the years. What do you want me to know about this circumstance?
Well, Your Honor, how the morning had started was that I slept in but woke up and I could not find my cigarettes, which made me angry. Because in the past, Brielle has stolen and hid everything from my cigarettes to my purse to my car keys.
How old is she now?
She'll be 18 next week.
Okay.
Sorry, feeling a little emotional.
That's fine.
She went as far as to take all my prescription medication and drive around with it in her car, one of which was an opioid. And I told her she could get in big trouble for that. She just needed to stop. But she struggled with stopping. And she can get very mouthy. She thinks I was drunk. I had just switched from taking trazodone at night of 50 milligrams, and they doubled it on me to 100. So most mornings I wake up very groggy. Takes me a couple hours to get up and get going. But anyway, I hollered at her, where'd you put my cigarettes? And she got real lippy. So I walked back into my room and I sat down on the edge of the bed and I called Spectrum, and I was going to suspend her phone for a couple days just because I told her over and over that her mouth is going to be the death of her. And at that point, she comes screaming, running down the hall, and the Spectrum person could hear everything. And she grabbed my phone and we played tug of war. We need to try to get it back. And I was just really trying to hang up the phone. But she managed to get it away from me. She took it and went out in the living room and sat down on the sofa. And my assault was walking out and I was behind her and I tugged on her hair once to get her attention. I'm here and I want my property back. That's when she decided she wanted to, her arms were flailing and she dug my neck all up. And I finally just let go of it and let her keep it. She went back to her room. I went in mine.
What did she have?
My cell phone.
Oh, your cell phone.
My cell phone. She went in the room and shut the door, and she could always, her and Steve had kept saying, just get out of the house. So I grabbed my purse and I left and went to the Hampton Inn. On the way, I did buy a pint of vodka. I only consumed it at the hotel in my room. I was not drinking the morning that she says I was. She's just been an angry 17-year-old. Anytime I tried to discipline her, she wasn't having any part of it. And the cell phone and the car seem to be the only two things she understands.
Where is she now?
She is staying with her Aunt Kathy, Steve's sister. And I've spoke to Child Protective Services, And we signed a power of attorney, so she was legally placed. And I told her that she could stay. That's where she's comfortable at right now. I've had very minimal contact with her. But it's been building. It's been a struggle since middle school. We did have an incident in middle school in 8th grade where she had a friend over and she always acted terrible to sort of impress the friend. And she was being lippy and they were down in the basement. So I walked down and I took her iPad out of her hands and started back up the stairs. And she jumped on my back and punched me in the head. There was a police report filed on that. They came and talked to both of us, and she sat in the police car for a while, and ultimately he just let her go and come back in the house. But the electronics and violent behavior seem to go hand in hand. I don't expect that she'll come back home until she goes to college.
Do you have any insight to the fact that the way she acts is related to the way you parented her?
Oh yeah, I let her get away with everything. Just
Yeah,
like
but
my
you were
mom did.
struggling with alcoholism through all that time, and you were drunk a lot of the time. She says, Mom's drunk again this morning, so she didn't respect you.
No,
And somehow that's all her fault.
no, I'm
No,
not saying that.
you've lost her respect. And I was troubled by the fact that you left and they waited around for more than an hour for you to come back, as if maybe you'd gone to buy cigarettes or something. And apparently you checked into a motel and got drunk. So that's not a very good solution to this. You don't have much insight as to how much responsibility you have for the way things are in your house, which are not good. Let's assume for a minute her version that she didn't take your cigarettes. That you wake up, according to you, disoriented from your medication. You can't find your cigarettes and you're angry and you all assume that she took them. So she's minding her business and she says, you come in yelling at her, where's my smokes? And that's how the morning started. And she said, I didn't take your effing smokes. That's how low rent all that sounds. So then you decide, either in a moment of disorientation or a moment of clarity, you're going to call Spectrum and turn off her phone. And then she says to the Spectrum lady, my mom's real drunk. And she tells the police you were real drunk. So I don't know which is accurate, whether you were drunk, whether you were medicated, or stone cold sober. I think you were impaired either by something. And you're not supposed to mix medication with alcohol with those medications. So you started it. And now, over some dumb cigarettes, your daughter's living out of the home with an aunt, probably doing okay, making her way in the world. And the fact that you don't have any relationship with your daughters is on you. I agree with Priscilla that you could benefit from a probation, but I'm not going down that dilute path again. So one option is just give you 90 days in jail right now and get it over with. You'll get 5 days a month, good time. It'll be about 75 days. You'll be out before the summer is over. The other option is try to go through probation. Have you started AA or anything back again?
I've not started AA, and I couldn't tell you the exact date. I meant to look it up, but I believe I have my first appointment at Pivotal the end of this week.
That mitigates toward just 90 days in jail. You have a serious, substantial, long-term alcohol substance abuse addiction. And you don't need me to tell you that. It's wreaked havoc on your life and your family's life. Nobody drinks straight vodka in a motel room at 9 o'clock in the morning unless they've got a serious, substantial alcohol problem. And you haven't done anything about it. Do you think you can do a probation?
Yeah.
Why haven't you gone back to AA?
Honestly, I have not felt well. The thyroid issue has caused me extreme fatigue. I'm nauseated all the time. I'm either sweating and burning up or freezing to death. So I was glad to at least finally get a diagnosis so I could work on that. Because I was beside myself. Like, what was wrong with me? And it took my doctor a long time to find it. I don't know why, but
What is your diagnosis?
it's hyperthyroidism.
Well, you were struggling with that when I knew you 10 years ago. It was a thyroid issue.
But they never confirmed anything. They just speculated. And
Well, I thought that's what it was.
she put me through a bunch of tests. And I had another physician tell me that he also thought that was the issue.
Well,
So we're in the process of figuring out the medication.
well, whatever it is, you're not supposed to mix alcohol with it. And you're not capable of just holding your breath and saying, hey, I'm not going to drink any alcohol, because you can't. You need more. I know for a fact, we were talking about hyperthyroidism when you were in our program and you kept having all those dilutes. That was 12 years ago.
And I know we talked a lot about diabetes, and they had not found that. And it took me going to Fort Wayne to the hospital to find out about that. So it was just a slow process trying to get my body figured out.
Smoking and drinking aren't real good for your body either. I don't ever try to deal with smoking. I got enough problems trying to get people off other substances. All right, I'm going to order 90 days jail. Credit 1. Of the 90 days ordered, 89 are deferred. But if we have a probation violation, I'm just going to give you all 89 days. I don't want you to try to dodge between the raindrops again and beat the testing. It won't be as much testing as it was in sobriety court. But this is going to be a tough assignment for Priscilla. The fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, probation oversight fee to $480. I'm putting you on a 12-month probation. At that time, we'll see what the prosecutor thinks about the deferral. Let's add that up.
Your Honor, my understanding in dealing with Ms. Canfield for the plea was that they were not willing to offer the deferral.
I understand, but maybe if she does a really good job on probation, maybe they'll reconsider. Won't hurt to ask, but the deferral is not part of this agreement because I can't do it unless the prosecutor consents.
I don't think she's eligible, Your Honor.
I don't think she has a previous DV, does she?
The child abuse.
Oh,
conviction.
yeah, maybe that did it. The
That's what
child,
Ms. Canfield
Yeah.
advised.
yep. Thank you, Abby. Yeah, the child in the car, that means you're not eligible, so I guess it won't matter. Even if they did agree to it, you're not eligible for it. You're to pay for the class. That's $755. Have a PR bond. Anger management, substance abuse counseling, no assault or threatening behavior, alcohol and drug testing as directed. I'm not sure if you're willing to, your life would get better, health-wise, wealth-wise, relationship-wise, if you could get alcohol out of it. And if you don't want to go to AA, I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to give you a jail and you can get out and continue with your life. But I want you to get plugged back into some support group. I'm not gonna beat myself up over this. It's either gonna work or it isn't. The women's anger management class, I think you could greatly benefit from. And if we could get your substance abuse situation under control, you come out better at the other end than you are at going in the end. If not, I'm just gonna give you some jail time and then let you go on with your life as you see fit. All right, I want you to go with Miss Walton and she will get you plugged into this probation. You're also to sign a release from Pivotal or whatever, whoever's doing your services. All right, good luck. I hope this works. If it doesn't, it will. Miss and all right.
She walked into that courtroom, ready to tell her side of the story, and the judge let her. He gave her time to explain the morning her daughter went missing her cigarettes, the argument, the phone, the hair tugging. He sat through all of it, and then he told her the truth, quietly, directly, and without any mercy. This wasn't a case about a moment of bad parenting. This was a case about a decade of choices catching up with one person in real time. The judge had known Tracy Wallers-Penner for over 12 years. He had watched her go through sobriety court, nearly finish it, relapse. He had heard the thyroid excuse before, 12 years before. And he remembered. That is the moment that defines this entire hearing. When she said she hadn't gone back to AA because of her health, he looked at her and said, "Sue, we were talking about hyperthyroidism when you were in our program 12 years ago." There was nowhere to go after that. She was convicted of domestic assault against her own daughter. That daughter is now living with an aunt, turning 18, building a life outside that home. The probation officer noted that Tracy already has an estranged relationship with her oldest daughter. The judge did not ignore that. He said plainly, "The fact that you don't have a relationship with your daughters is on you." The sentence was 90 days in jail, 89 deferred, 12 months of probation. The judge gave her a road back. Whether she takes it is entirely up to her. As he put it himself, "I'm not going to beat myself up over this. It's either going to work or it isn't." That's the kind of honesty you rarely hear in a courtroom, and the kind you can't look away from. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.